In the context of World Press Freedom Day, the Australian High Commission and the University of Mauritius have organized a workshop on the 22nd of May 2023. The theme was Countering Disinformation, Ensuring an Open and Transparent Infoscape. The workshop started with a welcoming address by Associate Professor Kassenali.
Today we'll be shining light a little bit on the Mauritian landscape, but we'll also have the opportunity to hear from two experts.
Professor Santali also addressed a few words about the chosen theme.
And the choice of the theme, disinformation, reflects a key concern in a society driven by digital media, technologies, and now artificial intelligence.
Mrs. Shaw led the opening speech where she explained the concept of disinformation and the reasons behind it.
So Australia defines disinformation as the intentional creation and dissemination of wholly or partly false or manipulated information that is intended to deceive and mislead. It can be done for a variety of reasons. For example, to cause strategic, political, economic, social or personal harm, or to get commercial gain.
The audience had the opportunity to listen to Dr. Davis, who presented a keynote on the best practices from the Australian context.
The more responsible and accountable the press is, and the more responsive it is to the concerns of the public, the more trust the public will place in it.
The next online speaker was Mr. Magatu, Director of Africa Check. He addressed their work about disinformation from the perspective of Africa.
We are involved in work where we literally going into schools, teaching young people on basically understanding information and being able to distinguish between mis and disinformation.
Then the first group of moderators and panelists discussed about the state of information, communication, and data in Mauritius.
The level of ignorance, especially not only in Mauritius, but everywhere, with regard to the focus on technological laws and the neglect of human rights laws.
It's not just about the media, it's also we're working in another kind of environment where we have media sources who may be those who bring in this information.
The second group of moderators and panelists focused on discussing about the current practices and possible solutions for Mauritian newsroom.
There has to be also an understanding that newsrooms themselves have to inoculate themselves to some extent, because we're dealing with newsrooms that have limited resources,
Sure.
limited people.
Sure.
So there has to be sort of a way that the newsrooms themselves have to change the way that they organize internally, how they interact with one another as well.
The audience also had the chance to ask questions and speak their mind after both panel discussion. Afterwards, the members of the panel have signed a pledge as a commitment in taking necessary measures to ensure balance and accuracy in journalism practices. Students benefited from this event by enriching their knowledge about disinformation. The workshop was a success not only in raising awareness, but also in developing bonds and sharing of ideas.